Alright guys, welcome back to Strong Successful Male. So for today, we go over an article that is probably one of the most revealing articles in terms of what's going on in a woman's head that I've read so far. And this article goes over 7 different women from all different walks of life and the reasons why they cheated on their husbands or significant others. And the reason I'm doing this is because it really gets into detail about what's going on in their heads. And so for you guys out there that are married or in long-term relationships, this is something you guys should be made aware of. And that way then you can have an idea and maybe see what's coming if you, depending on her character or some things that you may not be doing that could cause her to go in that direction. Now let me make something clear, guys. And I've made this clear in other videos. Pretty much all women cheat. All right. Now, if they're really happy and all their needs are being met, and we can all laugh about that because they're usually not happy about something. But in the event that they are and they see you as an alpha male, they're likely not to cheat. I'm not saying it won't happen. The odds are it probably will if you screw up even once. But if you play all your cards right, that may not happen. So I'm going over this article here, and you can see this from all these different ladies. Well, I'm not going to call them ladies. And it ranges from, I kid you not, from just simply the woman wasn't happy because the guy was not being romantic with her and things like that, to another woman who just loves it. She loves cheating. She missed it cheating on every single relationship she was in, and she loves the chase, hiding it, all that. I mean, she's evil, and all sorts of other reasons. And for you other guys that are thinking about getting married one day or thinking about having a serious relationship, this is something, once again, that really pay attention to this to see what could happen. You know my opinion on relationships and especially marriage, but to each their own. You guys can do whatever you want. I'm not going to tell you what to do. I'm just telling you what I think based on my life experience. And of course, the incredible amount of good comments that I get on the videos from people that have been in bad situations as well. So the title of the article is 7 Women on Why They Cheated. Starts off saying, at first glance, if 2 people break up and one of them cheated, there's a clear villain in the story. The cheater who broke a promise and hurt someone they supposedly loved. But there are always 2 sides to every story. Why did they cheat? What led to them to that point? To better understand and further examine rationales for cheating, we asked 9 women of all ages to tell us why they made the decision. It's actually 7. Below, learn about why women cheat on their husbands and boyfriends. And it says in parentheses, to protect the privacy, some names have been changed. So, woman number 1, she says, my husband only wanted sex once a month, refused to be romantic, and she puts in parentheses, married 20 years, and divorce would have been bad for the kids. Jennifer, a teacher at 43 years old. So, right there, okay, the guy isn't being romantic with her, and probably he figured, hey, there's a ring on her finger, I don't have to do anything, and that's that. And so for you guys that are married or thinking about getting married, be aware of this, is that if you think that, hey, you put a ring on her finger and pretty much you can then just spend the rest of your life on the weekends watching Netflix and ordering takeout Chinese, you're in for a big surprise, because the women still want to be treated like when you first started dating them. Taken out, romanced, all that bullshit. I'm not justifying this. I'm just telling you what goes on in their heads, what I've observed and learned and read about over the years. Okay? So if you are married in a long-term relationship, you got to do this stuff to keep them interested and feeling, loved and wanted and all that shit. Which means if you go out typically on a Saturday night to Outback, you got to start mixing things up. You got to start, some weeks go out on a Friday, some weeks go out on a Sunday. Change up the restaurants, change up the dates. Always keep them guessing the same way when you first started dating. That'll keep them interested and feeling like you give a shit, okay? And of course, in terms of the sex department, obviously having an interest in them sexually. But she said here they've been married 20 years. She doesn't mention if she gained 100 pounds or she butched her hair or dresses like crap. And she doesn't mention if she's really masculine. This is just her perspective, all right? But in the event that you guys are in a relationship or married and you still are attracted to your woman or wife, you got to do these things to keep them attracted. Otherwise, this is the kind of crap that's going to happen because they want that attention. I'm not justifying this. I'm just telling you what goes on in their head. On the other hand, if you aren't married and have no interest in a long-term relationship, then who cares? Do what you want to do. But this is kind of the crap you got to do to keep them interested. And hopefully, that's the key word, not cheating on you. All right, number 2. A little longer, she says, I was in a long distance relationship for almost 4 years. We were very young and didn't have a huge cash flow, so we only saw each other 4 to 7 times a year. Well, what the hell's the point? We stopped having sex for we stopped having sex for the entire last year of our relationship, and when we came into town, I would notice that he was always texting his friends that were girls when he was around me. What kind of relationship? That's not a relationship. That's not a romantic relationship if you A, never see each other, and B, never have sex. That's a friendship. I didn't believe that he was going a full year without sex. Of course not. So I assumed he was cheating, and then I started downloading dating apps in my city. I went on lots of dates and hooked up with one guy during the end of our relationship because I felt that we were pretty much over. Well, then why don't you just end it? How about that? The common theme with this, guys, about all these different things is that the women, they all cheat on their boyfriends or husbands, but they still remain in the relationship. And we can all have a pretty good idea why they still remain in the relationship. Now looking back at it, I would have had the strength to end a relationship when I assumed he was cheating and not being too scared to lose him. Morgan, technology manager, 25. Okay, number 3. This one, pay attention, guys, because this one's really going to make you hate this lady. This girl, when I'm reading about, because she's young, she's evil. This is a little bit longer, but it's worth listening to. Number 3, and she's quoted as saying, as someone who has cheated in every relationship I've ever been involved in, every single relationship, it's important for me to say I don't cheat because I'm unhappy. I'm actually very happy in my relationship. She's cheating because she's happy. It sometimes feels like I'm not cheating on my boyfriend so much as I'm cheating with someone else. Look at this justification here. What a load of crap. I know that sounds like I'm deflecting blame. Yes, you are. I know this is immoral and it is my fault. But the truth of the matter is that when I cheat, I'm solely satisfying my desires. I'm not fighting him or getting back at him or compensating for something lacking in the relationship. I just want to do it. And so I do. It is blind egotism that allows me to put my feelings above his. But my intention is never to hurt him, only to please myself. I just want to have sex. So, again, this is another one that won't break up with the guy. She'll just cheat on him because it's a thrill to her. This girl's probably a sociopath. And this poor dumb guy probably has no idea about. I knew a girl like this. Oh, man. That's a story for another day. And she goes on saying, and yes, before you ask, I still have fantastic sex with my boyfriend. He isn't lacking in that area. Cheating hasn't made me love my boyfriend any less. This woman is not capable of love. Well, let's be honest here. I don't think any woman, except if it's your mother who gave birth to you, is capable of loving you. But maybe they can have some loving feelings, but in terms of like the in love thing that they sell in romance stories and movies, bullshit. But this chick, she's a sociopath. There's just something infinitely sexy about something or someone new. It's nervous, fraught with the fear of being caught, and awkward. Plus, it feels different. She goes on to say, also the concept of sex with men I don't have to talk to or form relationships with afterwards is intoxicating. When you're single, you tend to stop yourself from engaging in relationships with men you don't see a future with. When you're in a relationship and cheating, you only pursue men you don't see a future with. The sex is better. The dating pressure is off. It feels less constrained and more independent. Look at all the justification here. And that's what makes me like my boyfriend more. So is it helping us? Perhaps. More justifying. Me cheating makes our relationship better. Of course, if he ever found out, he'd be devastated. So it's all a matter of weighing risk with reward. And of course, for the average person who may be slightly less flippant about morality, the guilt will always be a factor. Laura, nurse, 26 years old. Well, we got a slutty nurse on our hands. Number 4, spur of the moment. I was drunk and my boyfriend had been acting very cold, distant toward me for a while. I missed the attention of feeling wanted. Melissa, marketing coordinator, 24. Again, so instead of ending it, she just cheated. Number 5, I wasn't sexually satisfied in my relationship. Anissa, operating manager, 45. then find another guy. But we all know they want to stay in relationships so that they can be financially taken care of and obviously seen, because women hate to be alone. And so, gotta stay with the guy even though I cheat on him. Number 6, revenge. I was young, 25, and I knew the relationship was already going down the drain. He cheated first, and I tried my best to work things out. But unfortunately, he wasn't making the effort to make things better with me. He was always lying, and I didn't care much what was going to happen next. I was angry, so I cheated. 2 weeks later, I moved out of his apartment, 2 weeks after I saw him with the girl he cheated on me with in the first place. So I had no regrets after that. It was my first and only time I cheated on someone. Linda, health educator, 42. So you got a wide variety of people, different ages, different backgrounds, but we have the common theme here. And last but not least, number 7. I've been depressed and stressed. I was put on antidepressants to help. I was starting to go out more and drink more and continued to feel too much pressure at home. I worked full-time, I took care of the kids, I took care of the house, I paid all the bills. My husband basically did what he wanted in between jobs and left the responsibility to me. Despite many conversations, fights, and breakdowns, nothing changed. The antidepressants gave me new energy, and I started going out more, getting more attention, not having the weight of responsibility, and basically drinking myself into oblivion. I eventually had an affair and later was diagnosed as bipolar. Once my medications were on track, I was back to my responsible self. But my 18-year marriage couldn't live through it. Christy, administrative assistant, 43. So there you go, guys. This covered 7 different women, 7 different reasons, but they're common reasons you're going to hear about. And they're all walks of life. So you can see it happens to them all. In my experience, what I've known personally and people I've known, all women cheat. And it takes a hell of a lot to pull it off, and they don't. So but at the end of the day, only a woman will know all these skeletons in her closet. So guys, be aware of this if you are in a marriage or long-term relationship, and especially think about all this and consider it before you consider getting into a long-term relationship with one woman or even taking the leap and getting married. So, all right, guys, that's it for today. Be sure to comment down below. Let me know what you think. And be sure to also like the video, share with your friends, and subscribe. And I will talk to you next time.